So recently somebody invited me to their house, then they gave me the address and it said Tughlaq Road. I said, I'm not coming. He burned 9 million books, 8 to 10,000 monks, they burned them also alive. 70,000 Kurgis were killed. Men were slaughtered, women were forced to marry on the same day. Murderers, rapists, people who tried to commit genocide, their names should not be on our towns and streets.
Is that Hindu awakening you're seeing happening in the near future? How long do you think that will take?
Instead of using the word Hindu, I would use the word Sanatan is better because Sanatan means eternal. Nothing can be eternal unless it's all-inclusive. So, when we say Sanatan, we are talking about an eternal. Dharma does not mean a religion. Unfortunately, this word has gotten around like this. Dharma does not mean religion, dharma means the law, an eternal law. How you arrive at eternal laws? By observation, not by imagination, not by dogma, but by observation and realization, you come to in alignment with creation. Only that can be Sanatan. So that is the essence of who we are. That's not been conveyed to most of the Hindu population, unfortunately. Lot of Hindus talking about, we have our own book. We did not fall out of a book, you know. We made many books, thousands of them. Well, when Khilji guy, what's his name? Bakhtiyar Khilji came, in one university, the Nalanda University, he burned… it's estimated that he burned 9 million books 500, 600 years ago, 9 million books. Nowhere on the planet there were 9 million books anywhere.
They burned for 6 months.
That's what they say. Some people say it's 12 months, you're saying 6 months. It doesn't matter. There was no petroleum, so it is possible it took 6 months or 12 months. More than that, they burnt over, they say 8 to 10,000 monks because most of them could recite one book by themselves. So they thought books will live within you, so they burned them also alive. So the incredible thing is, the modern day Bharat names that region as Bakhtiyarpur. So this is one thing we must do. Vikram, you must write a book on this. There are Aurangzeb streets, Aurangabads, there are over 60 Aurangabads. There is Bakhtiyarpur, there are Qutub Minar, the man who desecrated both Hindu and Jain temples and built a monument out of that. There is, of course, Tipu Sultan. Most terrible things were done. Over 400,000 Hindus were converted to Islam by force by Tipu Sultan just in the Malabar region. Men were slaughtered, they say, in a chronicle written by, approved by his own son. That means it's genuine. They proudly claim he killed a minimum of 10,000 Hindus. And men were killed, women were forced to marry on the same day of their husband's death. If they did not agree, hot iron was put into their privates. This is the way things were done. And I have nothing against Islamic rulers because that's our history. We allowed them to come and it happened. Kings who ruled benevolently, you want to put their name is fine. But murderers, rapists, people who tried to commit genocide and desecrated hundreds of temples, their names should not be on our towns and streets. So recently somebody invited me to their house because of some pilots were meeting, you know. They said, Sadhguru, you must come, you're a licensed pilot, you must be there, they will allow it, just 10 minutes you come and go. I said, okay, give me the address, I will come. Then they gave me the address and it said Tughlaq Road. I said, I'm not coming. So you must understand, not because he's Islamic king, because of what he's done. Even if a Hindu king or a Christian like Robert Clive Street means, I won't go. I said, you take a spray paint and paint that street board black, then I will come, otherwise I'm not coming to your house. Shamelessly you're living on that street, I will not walk into that street. Why don't we have Adolf Hitler Nagar? Why don't we do this? Why don't we have Idi Amin Nagar or Puram? Why don't we? We don't do that. People who displayed extraordinary sense of cruelty to other human beings, whoever they were, we don't eulogize them. But today in this country, there are hundreds of towns, villages and cities and streets named after these people. I'm sure you can recount better. I am not good at numbers, names and dates.
Sadhguru, in our state, Karnataka, there's also Tipu Jayanti. Forget towns, we are also celebrating his birth.
Tipu Jayanti, there was a Tipu Express. One of the worst tyrants.
Even converted dead Kurgis, not only those living,
Yes.
but even the corpses were converted.
We think Kurgs took the worst of the brunt. That's not a fact. It felt that way because the Kurgs fought. In other places, there were no fighting men, they just took it without so much resistance, so it's not so well recorded. Kurgs really fought, but 70,000 Kurgis were killed. If you fight a battle and you get killed, considering those times, it was the order of the day, it's all right. It's all right if somebody comes and slaughters you in a battle. But it's not all right when you line up civilians and slaughter them and rape the women and slaughter the men, rape the women, slaughter the men. What is that? People who did that, their names should not be flying on towns and streets and circles, in our country, but unfortunately it is. I hope the future elected leaders of this nation have enough wisdom to change that.